Oops. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Hello. Here we are in a new week. Kim here. I'm just going to let you all get on. And while I get sorted here. Hey, Fran. Nice to see you. We'll get on with doing this reading in just a moment. I thought I'd give everybody... Oh, good. Here we go. Everybody's popping on. Karen, lovely to see you. Let me have a sip of my coffee. All right. Bit cooler this morning when we went out walking. It was a little bit cooler, so nice to have the shift in that energy. Alrighty. So, hey Suzette. Great to see you all. So as more pop on, please jump out and say hi. So my focus is having gone to see Gabby Bernstein on Sunday. The Super Attractor workshop was amazing. I've listened to her book 1.5 times, going through it for the second time, and I've read her other work, and I just love her. If you don't know her, she comes from a very challenged background, in as much as that she was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and she turned her life around, and is just this amazingly beautiful, powerful Hay House speaker, and very much works with the laws of attraction, but at this century level, at these decade levels, it's not that forcing, it's very feminine, and it's the very allowing space. So I had a couple of people ask me what were the takeaways, and I guess where we started was about each of our stories, and we all have one, and that one that is the founding or the foundation place, I suppose, that can get set up very early on in life. And for me, hey Rosanna, nice to see you. For me, my founding story is, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, is I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. And at the lowest point of that is loser. I'm a loser, and it's quite a low perception. And when I feel into that, I see that little version of myself, and that little very young, cute little round version of myself that just felt like she didn't have, I'm not surprised, Rosanna, that she just didn't have what it took. And, when I feel into that, I look, immediately, was obviously a story or an impression I got from my, I'm glad I shared it then, for my big sister, the energy that, I felt, the looks that she gave me, the energy that she shared with me, the intolerance that she had of me. Well, my sister hasn't been very present in my life, and she chose, over 10 years ago to be estranged, and that's totally fine, and, that's her journey, and I still wish her very well. But the point is why I'm talking about this, and why Gabby was talking about it, is that's when we're not in our confidence, most upbeat version of ourselves, that's where we come back to. So it's worthy of understanding what that story is for each of us, so that then what we can do is recognize when it comes up, oh yeah, I'm feeling like that today. I've defaulted in some way to that. And there's, obviously, beautiful honouring of that. And then Gabby has a beautiful method of choosing again. And as Abraham would say, it would be pivoting, to find a better feeling thought. So really to unpack that story, to not stay stuck. I highly recommend her book, but I really like that choose again, forgive yourself for having, or forgive the thought. Because we do have these crazy thoughts, and we all do. And, and I had the blessing to be surrounded by 4 other incredible women on the weekend, from all within our business, and just to sit there, and one that for me, Alison Will, I have a really beautiful connection with her, and to know how successful she is in so many areas of her life, and to have her sit right beside me and hear her going to all the same things that I was going to. That was one of those beautiful, subtle kind of interesting moments, and just to to share that space with other women on the path. I feel incredibly blessed, and I mean, each of you that show up here all the time, part of that as well, and just really allowing ourselves to, to keep doing the work, keep growing and expanding, and also honouring those parts that, that struggle, those parts that, whatever that is, don't feel worthy enough or don't feel good enough, or whatever your version of that is. So it was really beautiful. We did a lot of meditating, which with 2,000 odd people in the room, pretty powerful. And then towards the end, we did an amazing meditation, which was gorgeous, to heal our land, our country, and we all prayed for rain, and I drove home through an incredible storm. So it was really beautiful, and that reminder of how powerful we are when we really connect in with each other, and we support that energy. So there's much, much more, of course, that I got from attending the workshop, but I'll share more of that as we go along, and watch my posts this week. They'll be all around that. Suzette, she does Course in Miracles and lots of Abraham. Yeah, she's a big fan of Abraham and, of course, Course in Miracles as well. So, yeah, she's gorgeous. She's just wonderful and a beautiful energy. Okay, yeah, thanks, Suzette. Let's see what the cards have for us today. So we're coming up to full moon, so the energy's building. Have to be honest that I'm feeling still a little bit sluggish in my energy. I was up at 5 o'clock on. Peter Beaumont's trying to access the readings. Okay. Don't know how I can let her know that right now. I'll have to send her I'll do a card reading for her, and then I can send her if anybody's friends with Peter Beaumont, maybe they can share the link with her. Too many things to do at once here. Yes, I dropped my boys off at the airport on Sunday morning prior to going to Gabby Bernstein, so I was up at 3. They're off in Japan, in 5-star resort. Jake's filming with a whole bunch of crew from the Yes snowboard team. Jessie, of course, is being filmed going off some of those crazy jumps. So I'm working extra on my trusting and surrendering. Look at the card that comes up. Okay, so we've got this today. Release. It's that, hey, Yvonne, so nice to see you. Beautiful. Release. So just as soon as that card comes up, what's the immediate thing that you need, that you feel, that you feel, that comes to your mind to release? And then straight away, there's something fairly big coming up for me that's quite daunting about a change in different things. Hey, Penelope, nice to see you. And Vicky, nice to see you as well. So that whatever that is, when you look at the card, what was the thing that immediately came into your mind around release? So that's definitely the thing for all of us. It's just let it go. Let it go. There's a bit more space today. So whatever that space is, just choose to let go of the self-berating, let go of the shoulding, let go of anything that's not love towards yourself and other people. Okay, let's do this. So I'm not sure if Peter managed to get on there. Let's see how we get this. Hopefully she does find a way to us. Let's all put that intention out there. Alrighty, just pop in the comments who would like a card for them today. Just pop a yes please and we'll go in order of that. Let me just get my little paper ready here and we'll do that. Awesome. You know, it's a bit like with the shift in the weather here today, and I mean, we're like, what, 20 degrees, Suzette, beautiful, 20 degrees cooler than we were a couple of days ago. Suzette, Penelope, Rosanna, Yvonne, Fran, Karen, awesome, Vicky. Beautiful. You know, it's like a big breath out, right? Because there's not that intensity in the weather. Yeah, just a big breathe out. That's what it's about today. Alrighty, so let's do this. Suzette, here we go. And of course, you all know the drill by now. If you've got a specific question when it comes up to me pulling the card for you, yes, it is glorious. I actually needed to put a sweatshirt on when I went out for my walk this morning. That wind had a bit of a coolness to it. Hold the specific question or what's for my highest good. What's next? No question. You're so in flow, Suzette, and there it actually is there and there's two of them. So I'm going to go, let's go. All right, so we've got power, holding your power, expanding your power. So if you look at the picture there, paying attention to this next full moon coming up, and can you see there's some extra light coming down there that I want to pay attention to with this? So there's another, I want to call that another strand, another beam, light beam to your power that you haven't been acknowledging in yourself. So sit with that and you know, allow that to be shown to you. And I feel like as we move more towards the full moon, that will become more evident to you. So another strand to your power. Yep. And then the next card that comes up is the reflection. And of course, you've got the other paradigm as well. You know what? I'm going to put these two cards together, Suzette. So actually, there's some really building energy on this, and I want you really to get this. So when you put those two things together, looking through your power is, and this is a clue to that extra strand, looking through to the other dimensions. So with your meditations, I would be experimenting a little bit more with some different meditations. So something that maybe connects you, a little bit paradigmy, a little bit, so what's that? Is it Cryon? Have you ever checked out Cryon? They're another entity that comes, that's channeled through, and there's plenty of the about them and messages on YouTube. With them coming through, so I'm just feeling like it's a different, some different power coming through, different dimensional that is going to be available to you, but you need to just to find a little bit. So just go with, no, it's Kyron, I believe, Kyron, yeah. So check it out, see what resonates with you. Oh, that's cool, Suzette. A little bit more space cadet-y for you today, but you're up for it. You've got the ability to hold all of that, so that's really cool. Lovely. All right, Miss Penelope, gorgeous, gorgeous woman, mama, sensitive being, beautiful heart and soul. Let's see what's coming up for you. Oh, there it is there. Okay, balance. Pleasure, Suzette. Balance. So if you look at that there, you're looking at staying super balanced, and I want to be paying attention to the clouds across the mind. So this is very mental. So staying balanced in your thoughts, and see how she's doing such a beautiful job. She's holding her power at her heart, and she's got that gorgeous, very balanced perspective going on there. So, you know, when you're a mama of young ones and you're building a business and you're doing all of those things, it's an awful lot to be juggling. So finding your balance, finding your set point, you know, holding, I just straight away get a yoga pose. And how do you go into any yoga pose and be able to hold it? Well, you've got to engage your core. So you really got to be very centered through all of your chakras. And so whatever that is, and I'm sensing, because I'm getting the images of yoga, I'm thinking that might be the practical way for you to do that in the mornings. I don't know if you have a yoga practice, but there was that, what was that beautiful, let me have a little think about it and see if I can send it to you. Do you do yoga? Kind of, I'm not sure, but that might be, I'll just wait for the comments if you're still there, Penelope. Yes, perfect. Okay, great. There's like somebody shared it with me once. I was going to say it's like a Tibetan series of yoga movements it's really great for busy mums that you'd sort of do. I'll have to find what it is. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But whatever your practice is, that's how you get your balance for the day. So I'm hoping that you're prioritizing it and doing it in the morning, because even if the kids are around, yoga is something that you can do, you know, with them. They can be around, they can be doing it, but you can still be doing it. Like, you know, saying, let's, you know, for a mother, go off and meditate for half an hour in the morning, right? So, you know, yoga, be the answer. Nice one. Okay, Rosanna. Oh, there you go. 2. So we've got my pleasure, the path, and then I've got this coming behind it. So immediately your stomach probably tightened a little bit, but the darkness, can you see the illumination around the dark of the moon there? That's because that's where the juice is, right? And I don't know whether if you've ever heard this before, but to know when what phase of the moon was present when you were born really helps a lot. So I was born on the dark of the moon. So for me, I don't want to say comfortable, but to go into the darkness is something I'm potentially more willing to do than maybe some people. I don't want that to sound egoic. I didn't mean it like that at all. Beautiful. That's perfect, Suzette. Look at you. Well done. But there's power in this for you. So the pathway, the answers are in that. That's a little bit ambiguous, but it's because it's dark. I can't really, hey Joe, I can't really give you too much more, but it's whatever your practice is to sit with that, and I know you can, albeit really uncomfortable. There's so much in that, so it's continuing to sit with that. And you know, this you went back to, you said to the story that I was telling earlier, all good, better late than never, Joe, or you know, hey, you're here now, perfect timing. I've been going over what Gabby was sharing with us on Sunday and talking about this story and sharing that my story is, the bottom line of it is loser, that I'm a loser. So Rosanna, to sit with her, to sit with that story that you're not good enough, get more, there's so much juice in that. And I know, in personal development and choosing to feel good and all of that, and it's totally valid, but so sitting with those parts of ourselves to understand, not to stay stuck there. And you've got the tools to bring yourself up and out, choose different thoughts, pivot up, whatever that is, do some gratitude. But there's wisdom in this story. There's wisdom. And if you want me to look up in my book for you what the phase of the moon was when you were born, I'm super happy. I just need the actual date, and if you've got the time. Thanks, Karen. I totally get that I'm not a loser, right? But it's that energy. We talked about on the call the other day about, the ladder of life. We have to know those versions of ourselves that pull us back down the ladder of life when we're climbing up. If we don't know them, if we don't acknowledge them, then how can we work with them? So, I get to have all this beautiful love and energy reflected back to me, that I'm not a loser, and I love that, and I'm getting better at allowing that to really melt in. So thank you for saying that. I really, really appreciate it. So Rosanna, there's juice here in this. Like, you're looking at this is information for this. I hope that's resonating with you. And I'm just going to write there, moon phase at birth. So just send that to me, and I can have a look for you, because there's good information in that moon phase at birth. Alrighty, Joe, it was such an amazing experience. Love the choose again. It's been working brilliant. Highly recommend. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Aw, thanks, Penelope. Beautiful. That's so cute. Nice. Thank you. Okay, gorgeous. All right, Yvonne. Pleasure, Rosanna. It is your turn now. Let's see what wants to come for you. I love those little love hearts. Gorgeous. Keep spreading the love, Rosanna. And Suzette. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. Okay, thank you. Highest good. I just will give it, there it is, all the time it needs to show itself. Yeah, okay. So we've got here fear. And can you see there, if I get that closer, can you really see that inside her womb there? So her creativity, her birthing, there's a small version of herself. And if you can't see that really clearly, it's her sort of, hunched over and hunched down. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that version of myself in meditations. So it's that part of you. And when I was shuffling the cards for you, the words that were coming up for me were the shine's gone off a little bit. So I remember, oh, you got it. Beautiful. Okay, well then I don't need to say anything more. You've got it. That's beautiful. So really, sitting with that and working with that and working through that, you've got enough tools in your belt to know. And it feels for me like, yeah, like that. You got it, so we can move on. Beautiful. Fran. Okay, and if there's anybody else that's popped on here that would like a card pulled for them today, just pop a yes please in the comments, and you most certainly can have that. Okay. Fran, the masculine, the doer. What are you doing instead of opening and allowing? The forcing. Gabby talked about this also. You know, she talks about the pusher, and you know, that in the past, and I've talked about this before. You know, I prior to 2010, I just created everything that I ever wanted, and I did it because I made it happen. So when you listen to those words, making it happen is, you know, making it happen, forcing it to happen in a way, pushing for it to happen, continually visualizing over and over and over again, and, you know, speeding up the process wherever possible. And at the end of all of that, I was exhausted. And that was how we did it. That's not how we manifest now. How we manifest now is owning our desires and then surrendering them and giving space for the universe to support us in that. By opening, it's like birthing anything. If we don't open, we can't birth. So it's very different. We're very much out of the masculine and in the feminine way. And I know you know this, Fran, and it is. It is for everybody, right? But it's when you notice in yourself that you've gone into the doing rather than the inspired action, taking the inspired action. Of course, there's action to be taken, but it's not with that force. It's not with that exerted effort. And everybody has their own version of this. But it's that moment when I'm sitting in my office and I've put in the work for the day, and there might be hours left, and I might not actually have anything particularly planned in, and I feel that feeling of, you know, it's not happening as fast as I want it to, or similar versions to that. And so then I feel like my natural response is then to push, whatever that looks like. I have gotten better at lifting myself up out of my chair, closing my computer, and going and doing something else. So whatever that version is for you, keep working on it. We're all a work in process, but it's really just, reminding you of that today. Beautiful. Karen, your turn. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. Alrighty. Just feeling such a lovely expansive energy and a much softer energy around you, Karen. It's almost like you feel safe enough to let yourself be yourself right now, which is so beautiful, right? Because sometimes when we're in different environments, we feel like we've got to shelter certain parts of ourselves away for preservation. Yep. Throwing them on the floor. Yeah. That's interesting. I'll just flip those around. Okay, let me do that again, Karen. So yes, lovely to see that in you. There's a softness in your smile. There's a softness in your way of being. It's lovely. Okay, so we're pulling the darkness card for you as well. So again, this illumination around the darkness. So if there's something that's been coming up for you that you've been feeling a bit icky about, and you sort of have that feeling like, oh, I could sit down and go into that or look at that, but maybe I'll go over here instead. then you're being urged to just to give yourself a little space around that. So with those sorts of things, I tend to, for me, I feel, well, my nervous system settles down in nature, really does. So I often will take my journal and I'll go to the bush and find a nice place that I feel really supported by the trees and everything, and then I'll have a look at that and I'll go into, what is that thing, and I'll allow myself to journal about it, because there's, if we're avoiding something, it's like trying to keep a balloon underwater, right? You're putting a lot of energy into holding it down, and when you just allow yourself to look at it, it can actually shift quite quickly. So you can either do that in meditation, you can do it with your journaling. Oh, okay, great, fantastic, brilliant. So that's the encouragement for you today, to spend some time doing it. You're most welcome, Fran. That's great. I'm glad that that's of service. Okay, Vicky. Let's see what the card, there it is there. Resilience is what's coming up for you, Vicky. So the burden, I mean, it's also saying that you are quite a resilient person. Well, we know that. You're quite stoic. But there's actually something, I actually want to get a little bit more on this for you. So let me just have a look at that. I'm not sure if Peter managed to get on here. I haven't seen her name pop up, but I'll do a card reading for her. Making mistakes builds resilience. I have learned my lessons from the mistakes I have made. I stand strong. I am an adult and I act with self-responsibility. I am strong and I am resilient. So I sort of get a little bit of, the energy that comes up is around working and career. And I get this kind of almost a little bit of maybe self-judgment coming in there. And then I also got like a very cool energy of like, I see you like with a bag of your tools, like your physical, your knives and your actual tools, and almost like I want to say like a gypsy worker. So you kind of go where you're needed, wherever, and that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Love to get some feedback if I'm on track here with you, because I don't like going somewhere you don't want to particularly go, because that's your free will and your choice. So I'm just going to wait for the comments to come up. But this resilience, that's what makes you the strong woman that you are. But it's if the self-judgments and what you're perceiving as mistakes are weighing you down, then that's not being helpful to you. Let's put it that way. Are you able to release that and be kinder to yourself? That would be the advice that I would put with that card. Now, if you give me some feedback, I'm happy to go a little deeper on it. But as I say, I'm not going to go there without your permission. This is a joint effort. I'm not doing or saying anything so that's not in alignment for you. Okay, I'm not getting anything more. I'm not sure if you're still there, Vicky. So I'll leave that card there. If you want more, you know how to connect back with me, so that's fine. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, hi, Carrie. Are you feeling... So the minute I read that, I'm thinking, is there anything that you're unclean or unclear energies that could be cleared from past stuff around any of that? Let it go. Just cut the tie. Please don't be sorry for showing up, Harry. We love having you. I hope that makes sense. But that's cool. That's great. I think that will be of great benefit to everyone. Yes, of course you can, Carrie. So I hope that helps, Vicky. Beautiful. And Carrie, if you get a chance today, go back and listen to the beginning of this. You might find some value in what I shared there at the beginning. So, okay. So I love this. This is a card that I pulled for everybody today, Carrie. So it's release. So what I'm suggesting is the first thing that pops into your mind when you think about release, what is that? You got it. That's good, Vicky. I'm glad it's all good. So whatever that is, release it, hand it over, let it be transformed. If it's not completely stress, okay, well, I'd want to know what that is. What are you stressing about? Release the stress, but you've got to know what's causing the stress, what thought processes are going on that's causing the stress. So you might want to just dig a little bit deeper rather than, just saying stress, because there's all sorts of different stress, right? There's that good stress that helps us perform, but there's the loops in thinking that aren't helpful, that certainly hold us out. So, and it's very usual and part of the deal when we're stepping up and we're stepping out more. We get the rush of feeling good about that to begin with, and then as we set in and that's becoming the new norm, then we can start to feel like it plateaus a little bit, and then the head connects in and we start to we start the process of self-sabotaging. So the self-doubt, the not good enough, whatever that is, then that can sort of really come in. So maybe it's that's causing some stress for you. Yeah, it's you want to know what's causing the stress. What is the thought process? So do sit with that. Maybe some unedited journaling, not the one where you're thinking about, what you're journaling, but you just start by saying, I am feeling stressed because, and just let the hand go unedited. Don't worry about, spelling or grammar or anything like that. I'm letting go of how I think it should be and allowing more of what wants to... anybody else enjoying those goosebumps? That's alignment. Bang. You just went straight back into alignment. That's beautiful. And that's what the head does, right? It takes us out of alignment. So when you said that, you just came straight back in. You just, vroom, lined right back up. So perfect. Done and dusted, Miss Efficient. All good. That's really beautiful. So make sure that you write that down somewhere and stick it on your computer or whatever. Allowing more of what I want. So let's read that again. It's so beautiful and such a lovely message for all of us. Letting go of how I think it should be and allowing more of what wants to manifest. So perfect. Yeah, beautiful. And, once a week I draw, at the beginning of the week, I draw a Kuan Yin card out of this beautiful Kuan Yin oracle cards. Kuan Yin is one of my on my spirit team, and so I draw a card, and that was exactly the message. The dance unveiling was the card that I got today. Maybe I'm pretty sure you've got that deck, Carrie, so maybe you want to read what that says, because it feels like that's really aligned, and it was so perfect for me because there's something that is being unveiled and something that's being shown to me, but I've been overworking it in my head. And the message of that is just to really, just to acknowledge that it's sitting there and things, are shifting and moving, and there's some different things, but I don't have to, have all the, I start to go into planning how then that might look. And Kuan Yin was really saying exactly what you've just said there. Just let it go and trust and flow with it, and the next piece will be revealed, and it will be all become very clear, and when the action is required, that will be very evident as well. So really beautiful. Thank you very much for that as well, Carrie. All right. Is there anybody else on here that would like a card before we end this? I think I saw another beautiful woman's... okay, I'm just looking at some of the pictures trying to figure out who exactly is here. But anyway, that's great. Everybody's getting value out of it. I'll just give it another moment. If there's anybody that would like a card pulled, just pop a quick yes, please. And if not, and you don't want to do it out here on the live, I'm always happy to pull one quietly. So... you're so welcome, Carrie, so welcome. And hey, you're like next week or something, you're heading to Thailand. How exciting. I do have that written down somewhere. Where is it? On 19th to the 23rd. So very soon. Awesome. Trusting all of that will flow beautifully for you. I often say that the universe didn't help you to create part of the vision. The universe will always allow. I can remember there was a time when we were picking up. Yes, I did see you there, Rosanna. Beautiful, lovely to see you. Picking up something, and it was very close to the wire for us, and we were concerned, and Mike was saying to me, oh, it's going to shut, and we're not going to get there in time. And I said, listen, we've moved mountains today to bring this about. Do you think that the universe is not going to have the person waiting there to actually put it into our hands at the end of it? So it's about trusting that the universe has got the whole vision for us, and it's all sorted. So absolutely beautiful. So with that, I feel like we're done for today, which is gorgeous. Thank you all for jumping on here. It's so beautiful to connect with each of you, and knowing the special journeys that we're all on. We're all here doing our thing, doing our light work and helping in our own beautiful and unique ways. So I love seeing you all on here. This is fun. I could do it for hours. So let's connect again on Thursday if that's right for you. And as always, if I can help you in any way, shape or form, you know how to reach me. So always happy to assist. Have an amazing day. Be gentle. Go with the gentle energy that's here right now. Watch what happens in the building energy of the full moon. And just allow yourself to shine as you are. Lots of love. See you on Thursday.